is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. How are y'all doing on this beautiful Friday? We made it through our first week of the time change. I know it was difficult. It really, really was, but we finally made it through. I'll tell you guys something. Today, I spent my day sleeping. Literally, like I didn't go to bed until maybe like 1 a.m. or something like that. I was cutting yesterday's morning report and the videos were getting corrupt. I was like, okay, whatever. Let me watch the Gypsy Rose show because I do want to talk about that too. So I was up until like 1 something in the morning. And then I had to get up early to start some work. And then afterwards, at like 10, I fell asleep until about 1:30. Like I've just been so out of it today. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. Anyway, nice to have you guys here. Let's see who is in the building. We've got Melissa, Caroline, Jessica, Venetia, Ronnie, Tadisha. All my business looks suspiciously like Stephanie. I see Stephanie changed her name. Nice to see you, Steph. Allie's here. Brittany's here. Linda's here. Houston Rose. AJ, so nice to have y'all here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Patricia's in the house. Hi, Patricia. We've got so much to talk about in today's morning report. First of all, there is a Bitcoin billionaire trying to free Wendy right now, and I want to talk all about that with you guys. And you know what's actually crazy? As I was getting ready to come into the green room here for today's morning report, I saw this video on Perez Hilton, Farrah Abraham, talking about how she bought one of each Tesla to support Elon because people are boycotting him, whatever. But something that was really interesting in that video is that she low-key just like casually let it slip that she's being audited by the IRS. I was like, damn, girl. Like, how do you just like randomly like quickly slip that in there? So like if you guys watch that video, it's on Perez Hilton's Instagram page. So like if you watch it, like I'm sure like the lead that people are going to go with when they write articles or whatever is that she's supporting Elon Musk. Who cares? The main thing right there is that the girl's being audited by the IRS, to me anyway. Steph says, you look well rested. You should have called me when you were watching Gypsy. Thank you. Listen, I better look well rested after the nap that I had. And oh my God, I've got so much to say about that Gypsy Rose episode. I will just tell you guys here in the morning report first. Ken hates her. He truly, truly hates her. I felt terribly for her during their, an anniversary dinner or something like that. She's pregnant, right? They go to a restaurant and it's going to be rude. So if you guys have children, cover their ears, earmuffs. That bitch orders for the table for him and her food she doesn't even like. And he's like, you have to sit here and eat it. She says, first of all, it's not even just food she doesn't like. The first one was octopus, for example, and she's scared of octopus. What is that? Octopuses? Octopussy? How do you say the plural of octopus? She's scared of those things, right? And so he goes, you're going to sit here and eat it. And then she doesn't, she tries it. She's like, ew. And she, like, the texture, everything is throwing her off. She wants to spit it out. He's like, don't be ridiculous. You have to swallow it. I was like, oh. And then the waiter comes to check on how it all went. And so she berates him in front of the waiter. I was like, oh, God. This is who you're having a baby for, girl? This is why you have to vet these men before you go and let them knock your ass up. I felt so terribly for her, and I hate this guy. I really, really do. No, well, not literally hate, but I hate this character that I'm seeing on the show. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, April. TGIF, indeeds and delay. It is so nice to see you here. Karma's here too. It's nice to see you. Every time I see your name, I think of Ludacris's daughter. His daughter's name is Karma. And you want to know something that's crazy, Karma, and everybody else watching? Back in the day, I used to work these award shows like Emmy Awards, Teen Choice Awards, People's Choice, these sorts of things. I used to do those things for a company when I was in the tech world. Tell me why. And I was a huge fan of Ludacris at the time, right? So I was backstage and we had this product and I had to do this presentation before giving it to him as a gift. And so he was telling me, oh, this is so cool. My daughter would love it. I was like, Karma, right? The way this man was so stunned, he looked at me like, this freak. Like, how does she know my daughter's name? But I knew it because he was talking about it on the Tyra Banks show. When Tyra Banks had a talk show, I was a huge fan of that show. I watched like every single episode. And I remember him talking about his daughter's name being Karma and like, you know, them kind of like fawning over how cool of a name it was, right? And it is a cool name. So it just always stuck with me. And I freaked him the hell out when I knew his daughter's name. Good morning, Theo. Nice to see you here. Happy Friday. Listen, I'm just asking, Cindy, like, what is the plural for octopus? It could be anything, right? So you guys, in today's morning report, we have got so much to discuss. Let me put up the picture to give you guys a hint of what's coming up. First of all, Lisa Vanderpump getting ready to open up her own hotel in Vegas is absolutely incredible. I think she is the greatest housewife to ever freaking housewife. There are so many ambitious housewives that have done really well, right? So this is not to pit her or whatever, blah, blah, you know, diminish anybody else's shine. There are lots of them. But Lisa Vanderpump is just a special breed, and she's about to open up a damn hotel, you guys. How incredible is that? Remember when Gabrielle Union used to be running around talking about going 50-50 with this like multi-millionaire basketball player of hers who makes much more money than she does? She's a millionaire too, but you know, Black actresses are notoriously underpaid. So she's not making the money you think she's making based off of the money that Meryl Streep might be making, right? So a lot of people were saying, Gabby, something's wrong with that. That man had a baby on you and you're going 50-50 with him. Okay. Diddy is now claiming that CNN destroyed copies of that vicious video or the original video that they released of him, you know, beating up, just viciously attacking Cassie in an LA hotel. We got to get into that. Trash Can Thompson is back on the market. He said he's got to put himself first and start dating since Khloe allegedly no longer wants to be with him. We're hearing that Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Bieber want to move to Europe. What country exactly? I don't know, but that apparently is something that they're looking into in order to get some peace and quiet and potentially step away from the paparazzi culture that is very, very rampant in the United States. Stay tuned, you guys. And again, if at any time you are enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report, do not hesitate to go ahead and give it a big thumbs up so that YouTube knows that the people like my stuff. Theo says, Tyra Narcissist Banks, I used to love her show. Wasn't it so good? Like, yeah, she's kooky or whatever, but she is entertaining. Hey, Tadisha, have I seen it? No, I heard she was, you know, I was wondering why I was seeing her all of a sudden. Is that why she's here? She's doing like a movie or in a show or something like that. I'll take a look and see what she's got going on, okay? Because her story is interesting. You know, I used to be like, girl, like, why would you do that? But now I found out recently that she didn't want like that many embryos implanted in her. In fact, the doctor who put so many embryos in her, he lost his medical license or something like that, or he got suspended because that was unethical of him to do, and it was against her wishes. Theo says, first Lisa went after the Maloof hoof, and now she's trying to compete in the Las Vegas hotel sphere. Adrian must be fuming. Now there is a throwback. I completely forgot about Miss Adrian Maloof. Is she still with her little toy boy? How is she doing? Does the family still own that hotel? Hey, Jaleesa, good morning. That ludicrous story has me cackling. Yeah, honestly, every time I think back on it, I go, oh my God, like I should have been playing it cool, but I was just so damn excited, you know? Hey, Hamlets, good morning. Nice to have you here. So you guys, why don't we jump in? Let's do the Diddy story first, okay? I want to get like the extreme just nonsense out of the way. As y'all know, Sean P. Diddy Combs is exactly where he belongs, rotting in jail, having a miserable time after all that he has put everybody through, right? And so one of the first major pieces of evidence to come out against him was this video that CNN exclusively announced and released to the world, where you see his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, trying to escape him. She's pressing the elevator button, putting on her shoes. She didn't have time to put the shoes on in the hotel room because she was just really frantically trying to escape. And then Diddy comes running after her in his towel, and he just viciously attacks her, right? I still have not been able to rewatch that video after the first time. It was just way too shocking. And so now his legal defense team has filed a joint letter claiming, and I quote, that CNN purchased the only known copy of the hotel's surveillance footage, uploaded that footage into a free editing software, altered the video, and then destroyed the original footage, even though it knew about and repeatedly reported about the federal investigation. They're also claiming that CNN altered and edited the footage by covering the timestamp and then changing the video sequence. It also includes speeding up the video to make it falsely appear that the actions in the video are taking place faster than they are. As a result, the CNN videos do not fairly and accurately depict the events in question. Obviously, he is not disputing that he did this to Cassie, right? In fact, he has already publicly apologized for doing this to Cassie. He had a very BS excuse, which was that he was going through a hard time, right? And, when you're going through a hard time, what do? You find your nearest girlfriend and you beat her up, apparently, right? It's ridiculous. So in the court of law, though, and this is why they're filing this, in the court of law, edited, altered footage, photos cannot be used, right? And so this, if what they're saying is true, then there would be an extremely good chance that the video would never be played to a jury. So they are just trying to get it thrown out by any means necessary. However, there's something in here that he says, which when you see the screenshot here, doesn't appear to be true. He said that there's no timestamp. However, if you look at the top left-hand corner, what do you see? None other than a date and timestamp, right? 05/2016/11/11/03. So again, I haven't yet been able to rewatch the video, but now just based off of this argument that he is currently making, I think that I'm going to have to go back, find the video, and then just take a look at the timestamp and watch and see if it moves at any point. But here's the thing, even if they trimmed it down just for their audience, right, for the television, doesn't mean necessarily that they destroyed the original footage. I don't know why Diddy's team is claiming that that is the case. In fact, CNN has since spoken out to dispute what it is that Diddy and his team are claiming. They're saying, and I quote, by the way, once again, a shout out to TMZ.com for this exclusive. At 5:45 PST, they said, and I quote, CNN never altered the video and did not destroy the original copy of the footage, which was retained by the source. CNN aired the story about the video several months before Combs was arrested. To which Diddy's team responds, our written and oral communications with CNN's counsel were clear. They destroyed the original video file they received from their source. Well, listen, at the end of the day, if CNN can go ahead, provide the real, full, unedited video, then I think that Diddy's argument is going to be dead, right? So stay tuned for that. We're going to have to wait and see how this ultimately ends up panning out. I don't think the judge is just going to take Diddy's word for this, because don't forget, Diddy initially claimed that he never did anything to anybody, and that people were just after him for money and whatnot. And then this video came out afterwards proving that he is indeed a liar. So why take his word for it when they can go to the hotel? First of all, mind you, the hotel was called the Intercontinental Hotel. It's since closed down in that location. So they can go to them and see what the situation is about this. They can go to CNN, see what the situation is about this, and then figure out what to do from there. Okay. Let me see what y'all have to say about this story. I'm going to bookmark some of you guys' comments about the other story that I was just talking about, the ludicrous story, and then go back to it. Good morning to it all. Nice to see you. AJ says Diddy's legal team seems to be throwing anything against the wall to see if it sticks. I agree. They're very, very desperate to get out of this. Jen says, so like, is Diddy trying to argue that he beat her up much slower? Well, you know what? They're just trying to say, okay, maybe these things happen, but you cannot show this to a jury and bring this up to a jury because you played around with the footage. This is what they're claiming. It's not necessarily the truth. And unfortunately, if it is true that they took the one and only original copy of this thing, chopped and screwed it, got rid of the original, and only kept an edit, then it is true that this whole thing, we'd have to pretend it never even happened, unfortunately. And that's why they're going so hard to try and prove this. Cynthia says, hey girl, hey, I'll listen for a bit. My boss is out today. Hey, Cynthia, nice to have you. Thanks so much for sneaking in and joining the morning report with us. Hello, Kahara. Nice to see you as well. Theo says, how very convenient for Diddy that the hotel closed down. You know what else is convenient for Diddy? That, like, you know, other key witnesses died, right? Wasn't there that, like, that surgeon that he forced to do 2 boob jobs on Cassie within like 24 hours or something like that? Then that guy mysteriously died too. Crazy, right? Theo also said that if I was told Ludacris performed in my school back in the 5th grade, and when I said I didn't know, oh, you didn't know who he was, everyone looked at me like I was crazy. I only listened to Disney. Oh, that is too funny. Did you have super strict parents like me? Because that was me when it came to movies, you know, and ironically enough, I was not really allowed to watch Disney movies. So people would be talking about these movies like The Lion King, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, like stuff like that. I'd be like, you know, Aladdin. What is it? Yeah, Aladdin. I'd be like I've heard of these things, but I'm not allowed to watch because my parents are super strict. Caroline says, it's closed. He is a powerful creep. Yep, unfortunately it closed. And I'm still so mad that those people went and actually like sat on that footage when Diddy paid them off. And here's my thing. How is it that Diddy paid these people to keep this whole thing silent and the video silent, yet somehow the video wound up in the hands of CNN? That was a bad business deal, right? Because if you're going to buy this off and try to shut this down, wouldn't you want all copies of this thing for yourself? How the heck did they still retain it and then turn it over to CNN? And by the way, I hate, you know, so for those of you who are wondering, will he ever face charges for this incident particularly? No, unfortunately, the statute of limitations has run its course, but I really wish that it was still a possibility, and that the people who saw this and then allowed for it to be suppressed, I wish that those people could be thrown in jail as well, because they are sick and evil people. Imagine the amount of human trafficking that was going on in that hotel that these people turned a blind eye to so long as they could be paid. Just sick, dirty people. So, you know, of course, he is not being investigated for this. However, the prosecution is trying to use this footage to show that he is a violent person, you know, especially towards women and whatnot. Okay, you guys. So watch the space. I'll let you know if any updates come along. Now, speaking of trash, why don't we get into Trash Can Thompson? Oh, Lord, here he is with his nipples out. Like he ain't got no home training. Anyway, so there's a story that says that Trash Can Thompson has given up on trying to win Khloe Kardashian back after all of those cheating scandals that he put her through. And now he is back on the market looking for another woman to terrorize. Listen, if this man would just accept his truth and leave these women alone, the world would be a better place. So anyway, you guys remember that he had tried to date Khloe again. In fact, he even proposed to her. And despite showing off that ring on the gram, she kept the engagement a secret because she was embarrassed to have even given him another chance. And then we found out that he was still cheating. Just a mess. And mind you, do you guys remember that? Like, she had posted a picture like this of her hands up in the air. And then like she had like this giant like pear ring or something like that. So, you know, apparently he had proposed more than just that one time as well. But Khloe stuck to her guns. Listen, I think it's because of the way we were dragging her on TikTok. Oh, Lord, we were going in. We said, Khloe, come on now. Listen, stop subjecting us to your humiliation cake. That is for behind closed doors. What are you doing? Give this man a chance. He cheated on you when you were pregnant with your first child, with your daughter. He cheated on you when the surrogate was pregnant with your son. He was going through that process, all the while boning other people on the side. The man is trash. Like, as bad as it gets, the man is not just trash. The man is evil. Like, and he hates, not even, what is a word that is stronger than hate? He despises you. Like, that guy despises you with every fiber of his being. So why the heck would you continue to date him, right? So after that, she just couldn't with this man anymore, and thank God. So according to the source, Trash Can started telling Khloe, okay, listen, like I tried to keep on proposing to you and whatnot, but you will not accept it. So I am just going to go ahead and start putting myself first. And when they said that Trash Can was going to start putting himself first, the way I was just like, my jaw was on the floor. The narcissism that it takes to break up your family by cheating on your girlfriend repeatedly, including while she was pregnant and due to give birth any day. The scandal broke on Valentine's Day, for F's sakes. You did all of that to her. And then you go and cheat on her again as you are working through a surrogacy thing with her and everything like that. You've been putting yourself first from the very beginning. And that's why your family is broken up, dude. So to turn around and now say, now, you want to be single, so I'm putting myself first. Get the hell out of here, you damn narc. Honestly, what the actual F? I cannot with this guy. I cannot stand this guy at all. I really, really cannot. Hey, Theo, speaking of trash, but it's accurate, right? Like, this man is pure trash. He was just trying to destroy her self-esteem, her reputation, everything. Like, it's just disgusting what he did to her, what he did to his children. Just disgusting on every single freaking level. Looking for another victim indeed. Star is back. We missed you yesterday, Star, and I love that you are hitting the gym. Yes. How are you feeling today? We're still all with you. We're all sending you all the love and hugs in the world. By the way, that reminds me, what about you, Steph? How are you dealing with things as well? How are you guys doing? I'm so happy that you were channeling all of your energy into the gym right now. You got this. You got this. Steph says he's Jamaican, so he probably hits the right spot for her. She just seems, she can't seem to get enough, because I don't know what else it can be. Oh, Lord, Steph, do not even get me started. Carolyn says, exactly. Jaleesa says, Star. Oh, CC, Star. Everybody's wondering how you're doing. Let us know. Please give us a good update. We really hope you're doing well. April says, Chloe just needs to get a single man and she won't attract these type of men. Ooh. Ooh. The way April just casually gagged Chloe, because it is true, right? He had like a newborn, right? When she was freaking around with him. And if a guy would just go ahead and do that to his first family, what makes you think he wouldn't do that to you? Is it just because of your family name or whatever? Because don't forget, you think these girls, because they're so beautiful, they're so rich, they have such high status, they've got men falling into their lap, great options and stuff. Look at Kim. She was out there paying for her own damn engagement ring for a guy she couldn't even freaking stand. The girls are desperate as it gets. Zendaya says he needs to leave. Exactly. This man does not like women. This man terrorizes every single woman that he comes into contact with. Look at his baby mama, the mama Jordan, the one who's mama to Prince. Her sister's been airing him out. And then look what he does to Marley Nichols and the child he created with her. The guy is just yuck. The fact that any girl would even deal with him is just scary to me. Listen, not all money is good money, girls. I need some of the girls to stop thinking so heavily of money, and not, taking into account the entire character and just, everything about the guy. Because this guy you should be running away from. Chloe's desperate for a guy. Exactly. Just so bad. And here's the thing about Chloe. She's a very nice girl. She's a very sweet girl. Like, I think she can get a nice, normal guy. But like, for some reason, she's so attracted to these like athletes. And that's the thing with athletes. If you're expecting for an athlete to be faithful, like, I got a bridge to sell you. By the way, speaking of athletes, AJ wants a glute workout. Star, come drop your routine. Hey, by the way, you guys, my friend Julie, she put me on to this like fitness app, Gymshark, that clothing brand. They've got a fitness app, Gymshark Training. And it's like they give you all of these workouts. They've got a program. They could put you in a 30-day challenge, a 60-day challenge. So check it out, you guys. If you're looking for something to help give you structure in the gym, I definitely recommend it. So thank you to Julie for putting me on to that. Tadisha says, like you always say, Chloe must have a humiliation kink. She does. And she needs to keep that behind closed doors. We don't want to see it anymore. We never wanted to see it, but especially not now after the year she put us through. Star is doing well. Thank y'all so much. And thank you for the update, Star. We are still keeping you in all of our thoughts and all of our prayers. Someone else that we are keeping in all of our thoughts and prayers, Theo, I hope you like that segue, is Wendy Williams. So as y'all know, Wendy Williams is currently being held captive under a very exploitative guardian system. She has been doing several media interviews talking about how ridiculous it is that they are claiming that she's incapacitated and that they need to hold her, hostage in this place without any kind of freedom. And now there's somebody who has who's trying to come to her rescue. We already know that her niece has been trying to come to her rescue. In fact, the facility that is currently holding Wendy hostage has filed a police report against her niece, right? And so now there's a billionaire who wants to be Wendy's rescuer. It is none other than Brock Pierce. So apparently this guy was a child actor. Do y'all know this guy at all? Because, I don't. Again, I wasn't really allowed to watch a lot of things. You know what the type of stuff I used to watch? I used to watch like the things that my parents approved of. I used to watch All Dogs Go to Heaven, Homeward Bound, things like that. Maybe that's why I like dogs so much, because like that was pretty much the only thing I could really be watching, like movies and stuff like that. So like these are the types of things that I was watching. So I don't know this man. I'm sorry, but he was in Mighty Ducks or something like that. I have heard of the Mighty Ducks, but I've never watched the Mighty Ducks. So this guy, he apparently was once a guest on Wendy's radio show, and he said that she was just this really, really nice and supportive person. She was this nice and supportive person to him, and so he now wants to return the favor. Here's his exact quote, okay? I've always admired Wendy's strength, and when I saw her ask for help, it was impossible to ignore. My offer is simple: a place where she can find peace, receive the care she deserves, and begin her journey to healing. He actually released a full-blown press release about all of this. Having appeared on Wendy's radio show in the past, Brock is deeply moved by Wendy's plea for assistance. Understanding the challenges she faces, Brock is offering Wendy a safe space in his private mansion with around-the-clock hospital care and professional medical attention tailored to her needs. Brock's goal is to help Wendy regain her freedom and health. And his private mansion would provide Wendy with a secure environment where she can focus on recovery without pressures of the public eye. Wrapping it up, he says, this offer is an open invitation to Wendy to take the time she needs to heal and find peace in an environment free from the pressures that have burdened her. Mind you, she can take her pick of his mansions. He's got several. He's got properties in Amsterdam, Puerto Rico, New York City, Washington, D.C. He's got a mansion in Portugal. Wendy, where do you want to go? Brock Pierce will have you covered. Well, you know what? That goes back to the question that we were all asking, which is, why does Wendy have to be stuck in a place like this? If they feel like she needs to be like cared for and everything like that, why don't they go ahead and put her up like, in a private residence and then like allow her the freedom and stuff like that? Why does it have to be this place? She doesn't even have a balcony to go have fresh air in, like that's the crazy part. This is Wendy's phone interview that she did on The View yesterday will premiere shortly on ABC. Thank you, Theo. Do you have a YouTube channel, Theo? Let me know where we can find your screen recording. I want to tune in to this. Star says Heather Robertson on YouTube is awesome. I'll check that out as well. Ali says Dennis the Menace. Yes, I watched that too. I love Dennis the Menace with little like chiclet teeth and stuff like that. Isn't it crazy that people are paying for the chiclet teeth these days? Those are big veneers and stuff that can't even fit in their damn mouths. Should I use that as a segue from my Lisa Vanderpump story? Or is that too much? It might be too much. I gotta think about it. It just says Homeward Bound and all dogs were, okay, look, we were watching similar stuff growing up. Like, those are so, Air Bud as well. I'm telling you, everything was dog themed. And I liked Like Mike, these sorts of things. Theo says that's kind of him to offer. It really, really is, you guys. I hope that this gets the ball rolling in the discussion about getting Wendy out of this particular facility and giving her freedom and whatnot. But unfortunately, like Ali says, it's a little bit too reasonable for the judge. I don't think that they want her to have any kind of freedom at all. And again, it's very, very weird. I feel almost like they're trying to drive her to suicide or something like that, because how do you live like this as a person with all of their cognitive function, with no freedom and stuff like that, like, and just not understanding why, like, it's crazy. This could drive anybody mad, literal solitary confinement. And she's been living like that for 8 months already. Like, the fact that she has survived 8 months like this, is absolutely insane. Theo, what's your Instagram handle? Let's all check you out. So you guys, Theo says he's going to be posting a screen recording from Wendy Williams doing her interview on The View. Okay, you guys, so keep an eye out in the live chat. He is going to be going ahead and dropping his IG name soon. Steph says, we're doing better. It was a situation that looked worse than what it was. Okay, good. It's either I believed him or I don't. I just have to follow my intuition. He started therapy, the outlet he needed. Oh, that is so good to hear, you know? And I'm happy that he is putting in the work, because one thing about these men, when they get up to no good, what do? They start gaslighting you. I think I told you guys about the situation. It's something I described in detail in my channel membership. But this guy, you know, the reason that I'm in France anyway, I sent him a video of him in the act, and the man told me, like, and you know, his face clearly, her face clearly, and the man tried to gaslight me, saying, that's not me. What are you talking about? Like, these men will lie their asses off. So the fact that yours took accountability for whatever it is, right? I'm not saying he, you know, cheated or whatever. I don't know the details, but the fact that he took accountability for whatever he did and he's going to therapy, kudos to him. But we're still keeping an eye on him. And just so you know, me and the rest of the cool reporters are ready to, like, you know, we just want to see something. We want to talk to him for a minute if he messes up again. April says he was in, so this guy, Brock, was in Legends of the Lost Tomb. Okay, well, I've never heard of that. That's so cool that you recognize him. So again, you guys, he got his like fortune, not from acting. He built his fortune, his billions, from investing in Bitcoin. Oh my God, can you guys imagine knowing what we know now about Bitcoin? The amount of people I had in my circle trying to push me to get into Bitcoin. But at the time I was like, what, 16 or something like that. I didn't understand any of that thing. One of my friends, like, he got a lot of money from Bitcoin. In fact, he brought Bitcoin ATMs to Ottawa. And so that guy, he is rolling in it. He was an early adopter to Bitcoin. So Neely says there, and my brother as well was an early adopter to Bitcoin, but guess what he did? He lost the password for his Bitcoin wallet. He used to talk about that thing all the time. We used to be like, okay, Mr. Bitcoin, be quiet. And now look at us. So Diddy says they're holding her captive because it's profitable. Exactly. Again, they're trying to do this for who's someone who said that? Was it Camille Grammer? They're trying to do this to Wendy. Wendy is saying that they're doing this because they want to win a settlement from Lifetime for the documentary that they did on Wendy Williams. Brittany says, my son and I watched Air Bud this morning, and I used to have such a crush on that boy. What is the name of that guy? He is with his dimples, and oh, he was so damn cute. Star, wow, Star, thank you so much for the super chat. That is so nice of you, Star. Thank you. I guess Star is done with her glute workout. She says she's got to get to work. But happy Friday. Every day is a new day to try again. Amen to that. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you for your endless support. And again, we are all with you. And we hope that everything turns out for the greater good. Jessica also here with a super chat. Thank you so much, Jessica. That says you still, thank you. Yes. Here's my thing. It's not here on Netflix France. So I'm going to have to use a VPN and go to Netflix US to find it. Because I do remember I want to watch that. And so I went looking for it, but it's not here on Netflix France. So I'm going to have to use a VPN. It's not a doc, but it will show you a lot about conservatorships. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And that keeps coming up now in like the Instagram feeds and stuff like that. When people talk about the Wendy Williams situation, you know, like it's really sad. And I'm happy that more and more people and documentaries and whatnot, movies, whatever, are talking about it. And yeah, you guys, I really hope that Wendy is able to accept this offer. But again, I think that this is a very manipulative, fake, corrupt conservatorship that she is under. And as such, they are not looking to do things for her greater good. They are looking to do things for their own greater good. And so I don't see them letting her out of this high-rise prison that she is currently locked away in, unfortunately. Now, you guys, you know the drill. I have got to have my little bit of a water break. So we've got a word from some of our sponsors. And then on the flip side, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber moving to Europe. Guys, their real estate agent is the one coming out and talking about this, allegedly, of course. Dwayne Wade is coming back and reviving the conversations about going 50-50 with his wife, Gabrielle Union. And last but not least, LVP, the queen that she is opening a hotel in Las Vegas. So much to discuss on the flip side. If you guys are enjoying today's morning report, don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. The morning report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Ruthia. Ruthia is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today. All right, you guys. Oh, by the way, you know what someone told me that was so funny, and I haven't gotten to respond to it yet, but someone from my playback posse wrote in the comment section of yesterday's morning report that they liked like the blue bandeau I was wearing. Do y'all remember that from yesterday with the pearl earrings? I was like, I feel like it's inspired by like this like movie, this actress. I'm thinking like Poetic Justice, maybe like, you know, like Jada Pinkett Smith and whatnot. She's like, wow, I love this look. It looks like that the girl with the pearl earring. You know that like art piece where the girl's like that with a pearl earring and the blue bandeau. I was like, you know what, girl? I think you're right. That was so damn funny to me for some reason. I was like, you know what? Like, look at you, a woman of taste, because I completely even forgot about that. But listen, I need to get my hair done, but I have no time. I'm working out like a million times a week. And then tonight I'm going to be doing Aikido with my friend. He's a big martial arts guy and he really wants to get me into it. So I said, listen, I'll do a lesson with you. So we're doing that. Tomorrow I'm going to a bubble tea cafe and it's like a hybrid bubble tea cafe. So again, you know, I like giving you guys recommendations if ever you guys come into town. It's in the 13th arrondissement. It's called Guti, like gut tea, I guess. And it's a bubble tea joint and like it's also a ceramic. So you're sipping on bubble tea and you're painting these little ceramic sculptures and stuff. So that's what I'm doing Saturday. Sunday, I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm collaborating with LB for a recap of this week's episode of Teen Mom Next Chapter. So I think like after that like recap, I'm gonna like take these braids down and then I'm gonna go get the defrisage. So you guys, I know people don't like to hear this, but I'm gonna get my hair relaxed. I have to get my hair relaxed. You know, it's just I tried going natural. I was natural for 12 years, but now I get my hair relaxed and I need to go ahead and do that. Tadisha says, I think that Wendy shouldn't be in this conservatorship, but I do think she needs rehab. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Give her rehab, like, but she should be a free person. You know, the way that they have had her locked away like this is just not fair. And it's extremely, extremely unethical. And again, I hope that she sues their pants off. I really, really do. Thank you, Stephanie. And that's right. It's St. Patty's Day. But St. Patty's Day, don't y'all celebrate on the Monday? Because I love St. Patty's Day, especially when they give me a beer that is dyed green. There's just something about it's so novel, but it's so exciting to me every time. Like, I love St. Patty's Day. You're not participating? Damn. That's how I met that Italian chef that I was dating a couple of years ago. I went out with like my American friend. We went to like an Irish pub and there was like this cute guy at the bar. And so we were like giving the eyes. And then eventually he asked for my number and then we started dating for a bit. But I don't remember why. You know, he was just kind of like a guy that's just like coasting day by day. No real like future plans or whatever. And that's not my vibe. I'm very like type A about the future and whatnot. So it wasn't a good match, but he's a great guy. Right now he's actually in Vietnam, so on vacation. Anyway, you guys, let's get into the Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber moving story, shall we? By the way, how lovely does she look here? One thing about Hailey is she will dress her ass off. She will do the most amazing, you know, clean, glossy makeup. And then Justin will always just come looking so dirty, unwashed and unkempt, you know, like I think he ruins her fly. I wish he would just try to look good. And the thing about Justin is he's a very handsome man, right? Remember, this is why the girls were obsessed with him. They were truly, truly obsessed, right? So maybe that's why he's trying to turn it off because the girls were too obsessed with him or something like that. I don't know, but he's been looking a mess for a very long time. People are claiming that he has relapsed into the rugs and whatnot. And so now a person claiming to be their real estate agent is talking to Page Six, saying that they want to move to Europe in order to enjoy a simpler life again, a slower pace of life, to reconnect in a quiet environment. So I guess maybe they're going to be in the countryside. Do you see these people living like in the Spanish countryside, in the English countryside, in the French countryside, something like that? I wonder. Here's the thing, it's not too far-fetched. A lot of American celebrities have moved out. I know Ellen DeGeneres has moved to the English countryside. I know that Rosie O'Donnell just announced that she moved to Ireland, which I think is great because you know what? She is of Irish descent and stuff like that. So go ahead, have your time over there and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case with them. In fact, I've actually been seeing stories claiming that Kylie and Timothy are looking into buying an apartment together in Paris as well. Another thing that wouldn't surprise me, Christine from Selling Sunset, she moved to Paris. Natalie from Love is Blind season 2, she moved to London. A lot of people are moving abroad for a variety of reasons. You know, a lot of people are saying it's the political blah, 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 but I think people just move for a variety of reasons. And then sometimes in life, there's a moment, an opportunity that opens up and you go, whatever, you know, like in my case, it was just perfect timing. And I said, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity. If I don't now, I never will. And so I think a lot of people are more on that kind of a wavelength. So you guys, again, the source who is claiming that Justin and Hailey are moving to Europe did not specify on what country. It is said to be their real estate agent who is the one peddling these stories as well, you guys. So keep an eye out on that. You know what? I think Justin is going through a hard time. And especially now, he really is under the microscope when it comes to the Diddy situation. So I hope he finds peace wherever it is that he goes. Brandon says these two are a whole mess. He looks really sick and bad lately, but she always looks so clean and elegant, right? Like, look at her. She just has it together all the time, you know, visually anyway. And this guy just doesn't. And, you know, I still remember that photo. Do y'all remember when they showed it? And I think it was a road event. So this was an event to show off her brand and stuff, right? So she's wearing this beautiful red dress, all of this like diamond jewelry, just looking stunning. And then he comes looking the exact same as this, like just like this dirty like sweatsuit that looked like he probably has slept in it like 4 days in a row, never showered or anything like that. Like, come on, dude, come support your damn wife and look like presentable. You never see women doing this to their men. Show me a woman who shows up for her man looking a damn mess, even if her man is just, you know, unattractive as possible, sloppy as possible, she will always look put together. Alice says, never saw it, but I'm not Courtney liking the young ones. Yeah, me neither. I just can't do young. She needs to go find Selena. Justin needs to find Selena. You really think so? I think she's the only one who truly knows him. I think just purposely does things to annoy Hailey. Ooh, you are going to trigger the Jolena fans and haters alike with that one, Stephanie. I personally think that Justin just needs a retreat and just peace and zen. You know, maybe he can go to a silent retreat or something like that. I don't know, but he's really going through it. Thank you, Brandon. But you know what? It's so much harder than it looks. You know, the visa stuff is just such a nightmare. It really, really is. But other than that, I do feel lucky and I am happy. And by the way, I'm still planning to move out of Paris. I loved my 5 years here, but I personally am ready to go to the countryside and somewhere that's brighter as well. So stay tuned for that. April says, Hailey needs to be told you can't fix a man. I agree with that. And here's the thing, especially with like the stalking and stuff like that, maybe there should be a cautionary tale against like stalking people and whatnot until you like land them. Like just because you stalk them and maybe like pressured or pushed or whatever doesn't mean that they'll be happy. You know what I mean? Because there are some people who get into stalkation and whatnot. So Neely says, Justin is the only Caucasian I find attractive. Maybe it's the coins. I'm not sure, but I might pass him in the grocery store. Really? I feel like there are so many more attractive than him. Really? I'm really surprised by that, Zendile. Oh, really? None other are your types. Okay, John. Okay, I see you. Steph says, my baby, your niece will turn 4 on Sunday. That is so cute. Happy birthday to her. That is absolutely adorable. I miss like the baby phase. My nephew, he's about to turn 10 in April. Yeah. And I still remember when he was 4. You guys remember I have like this hobby now of like watercolor painting. So I'm finishing up the one I'm doing of my younger brother for his birthday. Then after that, I'm going to do mine of my nephew for his birthday too. And I'm just so excited to get these out to them. It's crazy. They grow up so fast, Steph. They really do. Blink and she'll be, 10 as well. Brandon is taking his best friend out for her B-Day. Happy birthday to your best friend. That is amazing. Have a great time celebrating. April says, I've been thinking about getting a relaxer too. I'm fighting, but I might do it. 7 years natural. I have no talent. You know what? Yeah, April, I went through it too. Like I hung in there for a really, really long time. I hung in there for like 12 years and I said, I can't anymore. I can't. It was so painful all the time. I've got like 4 Z hair. No matter what advice people give, it just doesn't work for me, especially with low porosity. So I just went ahead and relaxed. I will say the one thing that really, really works wonders for me is taking omega-3. Like it moisturizes your hair from the inside out. It's a game changer for me anyway, maybe for you as well. Cindy says, I'd get a relaxer, but it really weakens my natural hair. You need bond repair. So I pair relaxers with Olaplex, number 1 and number 3. And I also have some Dr. something, bond repair shampoos and stuff like that. So just make sure you focus on bond repair as well when you go down that route. Guys, what was our next story? I've already forgotten. The 50-50 debate. Can I ask y'all how y'all feel about going 50 and 50 in relationships? For me personally, I understand splitting finances and stuff like that, but I feel like splitting right down the middle, it's not very romantic to me personally. I feel like I don't mind alternating every couple of dates, or maybe someone pays for this and the other person pays for that, but 50-50 on everything to me is not very romantic personally, and actually that surprised me about the Italian guy, because typically Italian men, they are like very like, they will take care of you. But this one, and he was like a Sicilian too. He was, and it's not because he was greedy. It's because, he wasn't making money like that. Right. But every time we'd go out, it's like, okay, like we'll split. For me, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. It's not for me. It really isn't. I had no knock to anybody who's into it, who does it in their relationship. But for me, it just feels like I'm hanging out with my friends or something like that. You know what I mean? So Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, there was this big controversy surrounding their finances and going 50-50. Notably because although they are both rich, Dwayne is significantly richer than Gabrielle. So why is it that they're going 50-50? And in fact, Dwayne didn't even want to go 50-50. Apparently, Gabrielle was insisting on it. And so now the conversation has opened up to hyper independence and how that could be a trauma response. And that could be why Gabrielle was so insistent on going 50-50, despite it not really being an equitable situation for the two of them. And I'm actually really fascinated by the conversation, because I do think it's true. I do think it is important to have your own money, this, that, and the other, of course. And I can't understand why people, who really want this sort of a dynamic might feel like it's to protect themselves. And listen, I understand why Gabrielle wants to protect herself against this man. He had a whole baby on her. He's not a trustworthy man. So I do think it's smart to protect yourself. But the thing is it not protecting yourself more to keep your money to yourself? Let that man pay it all. You keep your money for your savings. That's the way I personally think. Hey, Storm. Grace, you look like my niece and sound the same. Really? Wow. How exciting. She's 11 and today is my baby's birthday. She turned 18. Wow. Happy birthday to your daughter. 18 already. How the time flies, right? Wow. And that is so cool that I look and sound like your niece. How exciting. I love when people tell me about like my doppelgangers and whatnot. Super cool. Cal says 50-50 sounds very petty, right? I can't get into it. Ali says, wouldn't be me. Ramster says, hi y'all, I'm late, I'm on my phone. Oh, Ramster, no worries, but we're happy you're here, and have a great weekend for yourself as well. For them as a couple, it just sounds ridiculous, right? Jaleesa says, I'm so tired of 50-50. You know why I don't like it? And I feel like a lot of y'all are the same way. And Theo, can you tell me what you think about it from a man's perspective as well? Actually, I'm curious how you guys feel about it. Here's how I feel about it. If I can pay for everything 100% and be fine and have my own space, my own rules, my own everything, why the hell would I let another person into this space that I could already afford on my own if I got to go 50-50 with it? To me, it doesn't make sense, because in my experience, for example, in my last relationship, when we moved in together, I didn't like it because, you're finding that you're doing more dishes than ever. And this person's not really, stepping up as much, or you're doing more laundry than ever. This person's not stepping up as much. Or like they have these habits, like they like to listen to like noise before they fall asleep. So they're putting on a show and just, you like to sleep inside, like all of the compromises you have to do. You can't just come and go as you please. You can't just invite people over without like all of the compromises you have to do for 50-50, I'm sorry, if I'm going to be compromising on something, please, there has to be something more in it for me than 50-50. It just does not work for me personally. I don't see the point. I really do not. But I think it depends on your general attitude towards relationships, because I think there are people where relationships are more, romantic relationships are more important to them than they are to others. And I think for me, it falls in like the low ranking of the importance phase. So that's why I'm very low tolerance on like things I'll put up with. Like one problem and I'm out. I am not I'm not going through suffering. You know, whenever like the Oprah Winfrey Network, they would show like that show Black Love and stuff, and the stories of all the horrors that those women were putting up with for these men that they were dating, you know, then they went ahead and married these men. I was like, girls, for what? For what? Is it that like, is it life and death to have a man in your life? Like, I'm sorry, it could not be me. I don't suffer. I don't. AJ says if a couple is going to split finances, it should be based on how much each person makes. I agree. I can definitely agree with that. Zendila says, I'm not going 50-50 with no man. I could do battle. Exactly. If you could do it on your own, why? And same here, you know, you keep your financial independence. Yes, there is some sort of a split, but 50-50 is just not going to be it. Yeah, I agree. Okay, y'all. Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Yeah, you know what? Y'all, you seem pretty similar to me. Jaleesa says, due to my familial trauma, I pay some bills. My man doesn't want me to, but I'm like, now I'll pay some. I'll pay for school 100% on mine because I refuse to have a man ever throwing. You know what? And I could feel that too. And I think that that's what happened with Gabrielle. So long as it's you wanting to do it and not the guy being like, oh, come here. And then come pay 50-50 on top of it. Absolutely not. I'm not doing it. And exactly, AJ, the woman does more work. So 50-50. And on top of that, women make less on average. So you're making less, you're doing more work. It's more inconvenient for you. And you're going 50. No, I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Theo says, I'd like to sleep with ASMR. Oh my God. I despise ASMR. Theo, I could despise ASMR. That is one genre I cannot stand. When people have their hot breath in the mic or God bless you. God bless you. Allie, not a Bluetooth sleep mask. That is absolutely cool. I need to take a look at that and see what that's all about. That's really, really cool. I love it. Houston Rose says, good for you, Grace. Most people should look at it that way. Right, you guys? I think more women need to be like, listen, like someone else, I think it was in Delay where Jaleesa said, I could do bad all on my own. If you've got it covered on your own, don't put up with too much. You guys, there was a video that I wanted to show you. I'm sorry, I got way off on a tangent. I'm really passionate about this topic, I guess. But there's a video of Dwayne Wade talking about his financial dynamic with Gabrielle. It was on The View. It's about 2 minutes long, okay? So if you're watching live, please continue to leave your comments in the live chat, or if you're part of my playback posse, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section as we unpack.
So there's a topic I know you want to talk about. Let's talk about
yes, it. So it's this topic that's been buzzing in.
Yeah.
I can't say it's been buzzing in my house.
But it's been buzzing about your house.
It's been buzzing about our house. And so my wife came out and talked about how we split things 50-50 in our home.
Yeah.
And so it became a big conversation about, you know, men and women who splits 50-50, who pays the bills and all these things. And then she recently came out and she said that she's in her soft era now, that she don't want to do 50-50 anymore. And I'm the kind of person, Jenna, that when my wife came to me and, you know, we had a conversation about not everything 50-50, but, you know, buying our house together, doing certain things for our family together in a 50-50 you know, situation, I was like, sure, baby. Yeah. If that's what you want to do. And if she come to me and she say, I don't want to do it, I'm like, sure, baby. If that's what you want to do. Now, the house may be a little smaller. Yeah. If we just going off my salary. Yeah. But it's all good. What about you?
Wait, hold on. But then we have to watch this clip because we want to hear what her talking about it. Let's listen real quick.
I famously said 50-50 or bust, right? And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't and I need him to be 100. It's brought us closer because he knows it's not about whether he can afford it. It's being vulnerable enough to be open enough to know that I'm okay. I'm okay as his wife. He's okay as my husband. I'm okay in this family. I'm okay in this home. I deserve it. And so I'm trying to expand my heart, expand all of the notions of what vulnerability can look like.
All right. So she's in her soft era.
She's in her soft era. And I understand when we moved from Miami, we moved to LA, that's when we went to 50-50. And not in all things, everybody. Like I pay for a lot of things, but in the big things. And a lot of it is my wife has went out and she's been working on her entire life since she was 19 years old for her own things. And so, you know, we kind of had a conversation. She was like, well, I can pay that. I was like, well, do your thing then.
How beautiful. Listen, I'm glad he's clearing the air on their lavender marriage. I'm glad that everything is going well for them in that regard. Jessica, I really like the way that you laid out what you guys have going on. Jessica says, I pay for my own car, my house, and the bills. And it's because Jessica makes more in her relationship, but he does the groceries, the dates, and his own car and personal bills. I think that's a really good split, especially like the fact that he pays for the dates. Because I think that there's something so important and like special and romantic about the guy paying for the dates too. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you get to keep that element in your relationship dynamic. You know, again, you guys, you know, it's all very dependent on what's going on, what you guys value, because we all have different values, different everything. So, you know, it's really, really interesting to see how y'all feel about all of this. And I'm really actually happy that Dwayne and Gabrielle are so open about this conversation, because to me, it's just like, I've actually always been curious, how do like these super rich couples handle everything? Because they both can technically do 100. So which is it? How do they do it? You know, do they have joint bank accounts? How does this work? It's all so fascinating. And same here as Adila. Isn't there like a YouTuber who almost killed himself, like off of his like mukbang career? Like he started off like, you know, pretty regular size and whatnot, and then he just started going, you know, really crazy with those mukbangs, and then it really took a toll on his health. Farah says, my hubby is the same way. Happy wife, happy life, keeps me happy. You love to see it, Farah. You love to see it. I love it. Dio says, lavender marriage, is he, you know, I don't know, you tell me. Speaking of lavender marriage, you know, I have, you know, it's so funny, like, you know, my ideal guy is actually like one of my gay friends. He is so smart. Okay. He's got like 2 PhDs. He's like a double PhD scientist. He cooks, he bakes, and he is just so cultured. He speaks multiple languages and stuff. He sews, he does everything. Like he is just everything. I'm like, damn. And you know what's so funny? I have to tell you, speaking of lavender marriages, so he comes from a country in North Africa where, you know, they don't accept like, you know, being gay, right? So he's been with his partner for 10 years and they're paxed, which is just a step below marriage here in France. And the family keeps on pressuring him, right? They're like, oh, like, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have kids? And so he was asking me, he was like, Grace, like, what? I don't know if he was serious or not, but he's like, Grace, like, you know, my family keeps on pressuring me. Blah, blah. I was like, say less. I'm joking, but I'm not joking at the same time. You know, we wouldn't live together. He's got his partner and everything, but honestly, I feel like a lavender marriage seems like it these days. Steph says, my husband's been paying since high school. Oh wow, you guys are high school sweethearts and everything. How beautiful is that? Wow. Now I see, you know, all the more reason to fight for it. Good for you, Steph. Farah says, I just became a stay-at-home engineer. I love that. Good for you. Princess treatment only. AD says, hey, y'all, super late, but let's like the video. Thank you. Thank you so much, AD. Nice to have you here. Hamlet says that she and her husband share one bank account and it works. However, he does side work to spoil me. Beautiful. I love men who go above and beyond for their wives and for their families. Yes. Brittany says, yes, the avocado dude. That's the one. That I don't remember. Nick Ocado. Voila. Crystal says it's Nick. Exactly, you guys. Like, you know, so yeah, I don't like it already. I don't like watching people eat. I don't like hearing people eat. And then seeing that guy just destroy his health for content, like I would feel so guilty. You know, I don't like watching things like boxing for the same reason. Despite my love for Muhammad Ali, I've never really watched much of his boxing stuff because I don't like it. I just like him as a person. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I don't like things that harm people. I really don't. Anyway, you guys, let's get into our final story of the day. We've got Lisa Vanderpump. She is opening up a hotel in Las Vegas. Granted, it's not something she's building from the ground up or from scratch. Basically, what she's doing is in partnership with Caesars Entertainment, she's going to take the Cromwell Hotel that already exists in Las Vegas and transition it into the Vanderpump Hotel. Lisa already has a restaurant in Las Vegas, Vanderpump Vegas, that is doing super well. And so I guess the market is there for her, and she really is loving the area. She actually also picked up a home there recently, obviously a mansion with a stunning view. I love Lisa's hustle. I really, really do, you know, because typically when you see the younger woman go ahead and marry an older man, you know, it's just to live comfortably and chill, which there's nothing wrong with. Go ahead, do you, girl, right? But Lisa, she decided that she was going to use all of these connections, all of this money and stuff to go and make him even richer. Like, I think that marrying Lisa made Ken 10 times richer than he ever would have been alone. Like, she is the brains behind it all. Can I tell y'all one thing? One thing about this story, and her getting her last name in a hotel, it makes me wonder. You have the best last name, like one of the greatest last names you could possibly have. Vanderpump is such a cool last name, You're building this empire with Vanderpump Rules, Vanderpump Dog Rescue, Vanderpump Vegas, all sorts of things. Why the hell did Ken not take your last name? Why the hell did y'all not give this last name to your children? Imagine this being your last name and you're seeing it up on a hotel. You know what I mean? Like, I wish she passed down her last name to the children. I really, really do. And this reminds you of the Kardashians too. Khloe, why the hell did you give your kids Trash Can's last name? I'm sorry, but what has Trash Can done to earn that? He cheated on you and pushed you into early labor with your daughter from the stress of all of that. And you gave her his last name and he was just your boyfriend? Okay. And then he did the same thing, in the early days of y'all implanting your embryo into that surrogate. And you did the same thing with your son. Why? And then Courtney, she gave all of her kids Scott's last name. He was just your boyfriend who treated, like, why? Why is that the automatic? When your name is already so good, so powerful, so strong. I always hate to see it. I really, really do. Anyway, you guys, I want to see what y'all, and by the way, Jaleesa said earlier, remember when we were talking about, oh, I love that AD. Yes, girl, you better do the thing. When we were talking about Trash Can Thompson earlier and how he's been like single recently because Khloe is refusing his advances. She's like, he's always been single since 2016. That made me laugh when you said that, Jaleesa. I didn't even catch it until a little bit later on. That girl Cal says, my personal opinion is that oftentimes Gabrielle Union overshares. I agree regarding her relationship. And yes, Zendile, a lavender marriage is when you get with a gay person. And it is just, a very platonic marriage. So maybe, for the tax benefits, the legal benefits of marriage or something like that, but you're not doing anything else. It's just like your roommate sort of a deal. So, again, in my friend's case, like he's from like a country where like, he can't be openly gay or anything like that. So that's why he's talking about that sort of a thing. You guys, I want to see what y'all have to say about Lisa Vanderpump. It seems like y'all aren't all that. Kels would consider a lavender marriage, right? I feel like, what? Gay men over straight men all day, every day. AD says, I feel like Empire would be a good husband. He would. He absolutely would. He'd be up there too. I was talking to him about this the other day. I said, Empire, what do you think about this story? Theo says, when RHOVH first started, Lisa introduced herself as Lisa Todd, and they insisted she go by Vanderpump. Okay, there you go. I had no idea. Thank you for the tidbit. And she was smart to go and run with that. I'm sorry, but the Todd last name, it's great gowns, beautiful gowns. It's not terrible, but it's just there. But Vanderpump is so unique, so powerful, so versatile. Like, it was just so, it's the one to go off of. So I wish that they did that sooner. I have some friends who got married, and what they did was they created a new last name together. I think that's another really cool thing that couples can do. And Jessica says, me and my guy recently got engaged, and we decided we will keep our own last name and kids will have my last name. Love that. I love your like relationship dynamic. You guys are very like, we're marching to the beat of our own drum and stuff, making our own rules. And I love that. I also love how in like Latin American culture, or even Hispanic culture in general, they like to hyphenate last names as well. Like, I think that's really cool. Lisa says, my husband knows I love VPR and sent me the announcement of the hotel. He was so excited. Yes, that's so cute. I love when partners take an interest in what you take an interest in, right? Lisa Vanderpump is doing big things. No wonder she no longer has time for RHOBH. Exactly. And, the fact that some of these girls who were her long-standing friends just went and backstabbed her for no reason over some like stupid dog adoption storyline, Dorit, Kyle, like for what? Like they could have been riding to the top with her. Like just this is crazy. The level that Lisa Vanderpump currently is on, right now they're getting ready to film the reboot of Vanderpump Rules, which comes out in April, and she'll be a lot more active in that. And then, of course, it's going to be a marketing vehicle for this hotel, Vanderpump Vegas. Again, we did see them start showing Vanderpump Vegas in the most recent seasons of Vanderpump Rules as well. So like she really, really knows how to play the game. And I absolutely love that for her. AD says, my last name is hyphenated in honor of my late father. I love that. See, I love a good hyphenation situation. I think it's really beautiful to bring both sides together in a last name like that. Julissa says, my kids will be Gonzalez Smith. I love that. I love that as well. 3 cheers for hyphenated last names. This says Lucy Apple Juice is the dumbest dog. Oh, it was terrible. What the hell? It could have at least even been Apple Juicy to go with Lucy. Like it was so stupid. And Dorit is such a fraud. She really is. And I'm glad that the people are calling her out. What is it? Tracy Tudor. Then the hairstylist came out. They are dragging her for not paying those damn bills, as they should. Miss Grifter. Anyway, you guys, that does it. Another episode of the Morning Report. We have wrapped up and survived our time change week, which was brutal, right? So thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me. Of course, we will be back again next week with more episodes as well. I cannot wait to keep on chatting with y'all. We've got Jada here. What does Jada say? And yes, AD, Hyphenation Nation. Jada says, I consider hyphenating my daughter's last name, but her dad is so obnoxiously long. Oh, you know what? I didn't even account for that. It is true that does happen sometimes where it could be a little bit too much. There is sometimes a character limit. You guys, I'll catch you again next week for the Morning Report, bright and early, Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time, okay? Take good care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.